So when I used to think about what makes a creative person, I used to link it to certain disciplines or certain practices, like being an artist or a filmmaker, or someone who came up with something totally new that blew everyone away, or even someone like an advertiser or a product designer who'd come up with a great idea that makes a lot of money. And that was my siloed kind of idea of what creativity was, or a creative person was. There was this one incident basically that changed my view, or challenged my view on what creativity actually was. When the tsunami happened in Aceh in Indonesia, I actually flew down and was part of a team there. And I remember meeting this one guy who had lost his entire family, but yet he had so much happiness and so much joy, and he was fixing cars and driving children around and being part of the orphanage and teaching them how to draw, and teaching them English and teaching them all these different skills. And I thought to myself, this is creativity. There was something so amazing about it. If creativity was to bring something out of nothing, to bring joy and happiness and this renewing energy out of what could cause sadness and destruction, for me that was ultimately something I found to be more creative. So that instant kind of really challenged me to actually start thinking about what is true creativity. But what I did was I sat down and interviewed people who were siloed as creative people, like artists and musicians and furniture designers, and I would also sit down with people who were not usually thought of as creative. As they spoke about creativity, they could not really center it, and they could not really describe it like you would in a dictionary. But what they started to do is that they could actually describe the personality traits of a creative person, and key indicators in terms of values that would actually equal to a person who is creative. One of these values is sacrifice, and sacrifice is because a person who would give of themselves, give of their time, and even have the ability to let go of things which are holding them back, or let go of things which are not creative, or let go of things which are not working. Another personality trait that they talked about was this idea of having a collaborative spirit. And dying is the species of the single artist, or the superstar designer, or that one person who leads the entire design process. But right now it's really about how quickly can you get these ideas out, and it really takes a spirit of collaboration and being able to understand different disciplines and learn to create something new together. Innovation is another thing that came out, and it's the ability to solve problems, come up with beautiful ideas, but ideas that work and ideas that help to improve a person's life. Courage. And courage also equates to boldness, and this is the ability to step out of the box and step out of your current situation, even though it may be uncomfortable. And I think in a world of trend, where everything it seems to be following the same pattern, it takes a certain amount of boldness and courage to actually go against that and do something different. And I think curiosity really lends itself to this idea of exploration and the ability to be interested in new things and to explore outside of your sphere, of your circle. Humility is so important because humility enables you to learn and grow. And I think that if a person comes to a point in their life and they say, I've seen it all, I know exactly how to do this, I don't need to change the way I work, then that's when they stop being creative. So what I started to realize is that being creative cannot actually be equated to any certain discipline, like being an artist or a filmmaker. So you can actually be creative being an accountant. Coming up with a spreadsheet could be creative as long as you're doing things with a spirit of sacrifice and collaboration and courage. You could be painting something and not be creative. You could be playing an amazing piece of music technically well, but not actually be partaking in a creative spirit. So now the way that I see a creative person is that everybody has the ability to be creative, but it's really whether they want to take on these values for themselves. I truly feel that if you can learn not to imitate, but learn to recognize and partake in more human qualities, then you can start to live a more creative life and be a more creative leader in your business or in your family.